Okay, the last part of my video, we're almost to the end, is JT Alert. And after you install JT Alert, you may find a few of these X's on your desktop, and that just means you've installed JT Alert for other programs. What you want to look for is the red X, Wsjt-X, JT Alert X. And have Wsjt-X open. Double click on it, and it will read the settings data. Oh, so there's another I've got this open, and I'll show you why I'm getting this. I've got it set up so all I have to do is double click on JT Alert and it will bring up Wsjt-X. That's why I got that message. I'll show you. Let me just go ahead and close out of these, and I'll show you what I mean. So Wsjt-X is closed, so I don't have to open two programs. My Ham Radio Deluxe is open, and my logbook is open. So when I double click on Wsjt-X, it opens, or the JT Alert, it opens Wsjt-X and my JT Alert. So there's just a few settings that you really need to put in here to get it operating. Go to Settings, Manage Settings, and we want to connect to our HRD Logbook. And the settings window comes up, and just go down to Logging and HRD, select Enable, and I'm using 6.3. And I've heard that the later versions of this will be the last version that supports HRD 6.3. So JT Alert 2.8.7 will be the last one to support the paid version of HRD. If you're still using the older versions of Ham Radio Deluxe, you're in good shape. But I'm using 6.3. I have my logbook selected in here, and this all populates automatically. You just have to make sure you have your logbook open. And then one of the next things you want to do is you want to scan your log and update. So go down here to Scan Log and Update. And I think the default is all of them are enabled. I've changed it. I was getting a lot of alerts, and too many for me to keep track of. It was too complicated. So in the beginning, I just selected, I think, the state, DXCC, and continent, and those were the only alerts I was looking for. So you might want to start out at the bare minimum. If you're just looking for states, that's fine. And in the beginning, I had no QSL confirmation checked off on these, but now that I've been making a lot of contacts, I'm looking for confirmation. So I'll have these checked off: CQ zone, grid, prefix. And the next thing you want to do is scan your logbook, and I'll just hit Scan All and show you what it looks like. Scanning HRD log. Depending on how many records you have, it may take a while. You can see I'm getting some stations over here in the band activity window, and I'm on 30 meters. I have an inverted V up. It's only up about 25 feet, and it's not tuned very well for 30 meters, but I found operating with just 5 watts, I can get out pretty well, and I've made some DX contacts with it. So I'll give this a second to finish. Okay, I saw a few in there that are updated. And click update, OK to update your configuration, OK, and apply it. And there you go. You should be set up to log with HRD. So when I make a contact on here, it will prompt me to log. I log the contact, and it goes into HRD Logbook automatically. From HRD Logbook, it goes to eQSL, it goes to QRZ.com, and it goes to HRDLog.net. And from HRDLog.net, it sends out tweets to my Twitter account. So all that's automated, and it's pretty neat. The last thing I have to do is go in and update the logbook of the world. Okay, one of the last things I'll show you to make it easier, you go into settings, manage settings. We'll set it up so it will bring up Wsjt-X automatically when you open JT Alert. And from the settings window, go down to applications and auto start, and just have one here, start and close, and I've selected the path to Wsjt-X. Put it in there, hit OK, and now when I close JT Alert, it closes Wsjt-X. Let's take a look at this other one, Wsjt-X, and I believe these were the default auto clear, the waterfall, single click for a CQ response. And that's on JT Alert. And I kind of like this one too. Bring the Wsjt-X window to the top. And I kind of like that one because I'll start a QSO and go off to something else and forget that I'm in a QSO with somebody. And if this will bring it up the next cycle, and it'll bring it up to the top and flash and remind me to send the next message. So it's kind of handy. And let's see, I think that's about it. Click OK here, and I'll show you one last thing. If you go into View and the Alert Type Summary window, I usually have this open because when alerts pop up, they show up here. Let's see if I get some. But they'll show up here, and then the color code I can match. I can look and see what that one is. I can also disable some here if it gets too complicated. There are too many alerts coming through. Just disable them right away. So that's pretty neat to have that open. And that's about it. The only thing left to do is to make some contacts. Okay, here we go. We're running Wsjt-X. I've got my waterfall open, band activity window, and alert types window open. And down in the bottom right hand corner, you'll see the Icom 7300. I'm going to try to show you what it looks like when I'm transmitting, and what it looks like on split mode. Let's see if I get a station here. It comes up in JT Alert, and I'll try to get a contact here. Oh, there's Mexico. Click once, and it will start the transmission, and I'm sending him my grid square. I want to point out a couple of things. I like to have the logbook fields showing, that way I can see their name, and I might stick their name down in one of my transmissions, one of the text messages. And to view that, you just click on View and Show Log Fields. and that'll bring that up. Okay, I'm only transmitting about 10 watts. We'll see if I can make a contact to the station in Mexico. He showed up as this color, so it must be a wanted DXCC. Another thing, I'm transmitting, I don't have the lock transmit and receive on, and I don't really need it on. When I click on a call sign or double click on one, it automatically sends both the transmit and receive over. The transmit is the red bar on top and the receive is the green bar below. So let's see if he comes back to my call. Another thing, my power output is set by this power level slider over here. The radio's set to 100%. Oh, he went back to somebody else, so I'm gonna halt that, and let's try Washington. Got this color, so it looks like it's a wanted grid square for me. Again, transmitting 10 watts. And as I was saying, the radio is set to 100% power, and I have the slider here that I can adjust the power output with. So let's see if I can make a contact with this station. I'll show you what it looks like when it logs. You can see on 30 meters there's a little activity. It looks like there's more on 40 meters right now, and quite a bit on 20 meters. So K7FTQ, that would be Lester, and he's in Kennewick. Let's see if 10 watts will get him. Nope, didn't get him either. I'm gonna hit the hit this North Carolina. And WA6 GXQ, this color, it should be a wanted grid, and it shows him in Durham, North Carolina. See if I can get a contact with him. And you'll notice when I click on these labels here, these call signs, my transmit and receive moves. And I'm transmitting on 138 right now. I haven't been looking at the radio when I click on these to see if it had changed over, and I bet it had. I called this one and he was on 1231 1231. He was on 1407, so that should have been transmitting on maybe 10.137.5. I'll have to take a look and review it, see what we were actually transmitting on. That's because I'm in split mode. And I hope he comes back to my call here. Again, not a lot of activity on 30 meters right now. We've got snow in Pier today, and it's about 30 degrees outside. Hope you can't hear that in the background. Somebody came in and turned the TV on. I'm not going to mention who. Alright, there we got him. North Carolina station. So I'm going to send him a signal report. And then right after the signal report, I'll send him a 73. And I can switch it up here. I can send him, let's see, I got one down here. 73 from South Dakota. Yeah, this one's transmitting it. See, I'm between 1500 and 2000 hertz up here, so I am transmitting on 10.138. He should come back and give me a roger, roger, roger. Or he might come back and just send 73. Okay, oh, he sent me a signal report again, so maybe he didn't get mine. I'm going to send this one back. He could have maybe not gotten mine, or maybe he just made a mistake. That happens a lot. And sent the wrong text message. Another neat thing about JT Alert is you can go up to View in the text message window and bring it up and send them a message. Alright, from South Dakota. And he may not have the text going on his computer, so he may not get it, and there's I guess no way to know that whether they receive the text message or not. Okay, I'm going to go down and click this last one, 73 from South Dakota, see if he got that signal report. That's the thing about using JT9, JT65, and by the way, I do have it set on both modes, JT9, JT65. The JT9 signals will show up down here, right after this blue line. That's what it's set for over in this field. And I can tell what I'm transmitting. Alright, he got it. Roger, roger, 73. And I'll send him a 73. And it should bring up a window. There's my window. Make sure everything's right in here. 10 watts. I can change that and put a comment in. When I click OK, it logs to HRD Logbook, WA6GXQ, WA6GXQ. He's in the log, and from the log, it will go to QRZ.com, and let me just show you. QRZ.com has got it, and it also goes to HRD Log. HRD Log gets it and sends it to Twitter, and you can see it when it shows up on Twitter. And like I said before, this is just kind of like self-spotting. This shows the QSOs I've had, and there he is, WA6GXQ. Shows what I'm on, frequency I'm on. Also shows that I'm on the air. So people following me will know where I'm operating on. If you need a South Dakota contact, that's a good way to do it. Just follow me on Twitter. It's at K0PIR. And my website, www.k0pir.us. And I appreciate you watching. If you have any questions or comments, just submit them below. I'll put some links below. And my email address is rich@k0pir.us. Thanks again for watching. 73 and good DX.